What if there was a single point on your neck that could quiet every storm within you? What if, with nothing more than a gentle touch, you could feel your breath deepen, your chest soften, and a silence awaken that is older than words themselves? Most of us live surrounded by constant noise, endless notifications, the weight of thoughts, the chatter of the world around us. But there exists a silence hidden inside the body that doesn't simply mean the absence of sound. It is a presence. It is alive, and when you learn to awaken it, you may discover a stillness that feels like the universe itself breathing with you. For centuries, mystics and seekers whispered of this hidden doorway. They believed that by touching a certain place near the neck, one could unlock an inner calm so powerful that the mind would bow into silence. They described it as a sacred thread, connecting mind, body, and spirit. Today, modern science gives it another name, the vagus nerve, but the essence is the same. The body holds within it a secret switch for peace, and very few people ever learn how to use it. Pause here for a moment. Take a slow inhale, let your shoulders drop, and feel the simple act of listening. Already, can you sense the storm of thoughts softening even slightly? This is not coincidence. This is the beginning of the journey we are about to take together. Before we go deeper, I want to ask you something. Tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching this from right now? Are you sitting in your room at night? Are you lying on your bed with your phone in your hand? Or maybe you are listening quietly with headphones as the outside world continues rushing past. Wherever you are, let this moment become your doorway into silence. In this journey, we will explore more than just the surface. You will discover what this hidden point is and how to touch it. You will feel how ancient wisdom and modern science meet inside your own body. And you will learn a simple practice that can shift your state of being in just a few breaths. But more importantly, you will come face to face with something we often forget, that silence is not emptiness. Silence is a voice that speaks, not from outside, but from within you. The vagus nerve, they say, is like a secret messenger. It carries calm from your brain into your heart, into your breath, into your very cells. And when you stimulate it, you're not just affecting biology, you are awakening a spiritual pathway. Some call it a hidden thread, others call it the cord of the soul. You may call it simply silence. But before we begin the awakening itself, pause for one more breath. If you feel even a slight stirring in your spirit, trust it. Whisper a quiet yes inside yourself. And if you are ready to walk this path with me, let this be your first small step. Subscribe to the Spine Gospel, like this video, and share it with someone who may also need to remember the silence they've forgotten. Not for me, but for yourself. Because the moment you choose silence, you have already begun. So let us begin. Let us find this forgotten point on your neck, the point that mystics once touched to hear the universe itself, and the point that scientists are only now beginning to rediscover. You may be wondering, what exactly is this point on the neck, and why does it hold such power? Why have mystics, healers, and now even scientists turned their attention here, as if it were some hidden doorway into silence? Bring your awareness to the side of your neck, just beneath the jawline, close to where your collarbone begins. If you rest your fingers gently there, you may feel it, the faint, steady rhythm of your own pulse. This spot is not random. It is a meeting place where flesh, breath, and subtle energy touch one another. Beneath the skin runs a great river of life known to science as the vagus nerve, and known to ancient seekers as the thread of spirit. Touching here is like touching the crossroads of body and soul. For the yogis of India, this place was described as a gateway of prana, the life force that animates all living beings. They believed that when the prana flowed freely here, one could experience deep states of calm and even meditation without effort. In Chinese medicine, healers spoke of meridians, invisible channels of energy that ran through the body. The side of the neck, they said, carried pathways connected to the heart, lungs, and voice. To touch here was to restore balance between speaking and listening, between action and stillness, and then there were the shamans scattered across deserts and forests. For them, this point was sacred, a small door where silence itself could enter. In their language, the body was not just flesh, it was a temple, and this doorway near the neck was one of the temple gates. To press it gently with breath and intention was to knock on the door of the soul. Imagine that, your body carrying a silent doorway all along, waiting for you to notice it. Of course, science today has its own language for this mystery. The vagus nerve, they say, runs from your brainstem all the way down through your chest and into your abdomen. It carries signals that slow the heart, deepen the breath, and calm the nervous system. And here, at the side of your neck, it comes close enough to the surface that you can reach it with your own touch. You don't need technology. You don't need elaborate rituals. You only need awareness and a gentle hand. But let us pause here, because this knowledge was not always hidden. In ancient times, practices like this were part of daily life. The yogi touching his neck before meditation, the healer guiding a patient's hand to the collarbone, the elder whispering to a child, "When you are afraid, place your fingers here." These were simple human traditions. But as centuries passed and the world grew louder, this wisdom slowly faded. We began to look for answers outside of ourselves, in noise, in machines, in endless distractions, forgetting that silence was always waiting within. The doorway was never gone. We just stopped walking through it. And yet, without knowing why, many of us still touch this spot. Think of a moment when you were anxious, overwhelmed, or suddenly afraid. Did your hand instinctively rise to your throat or rest on your chest? Did you feel the rhythm of your pulse under your fingers? That was your body remembering. That was silence knocking. Tell me, have you ever experienced that? A moment where your hand reached for your neck without thinking. Share it in the comments, because your story may be the very reflection someone else needs to realize that they too are carrying this hidden doorway. So what is this technique? It is nothing more and nothing less than returning to that instinct. It is the act of awakening an ancient memory your body already knows. To touch this point gently, with breath and awareness, is to open the door to silence. It is to feel the nervous system bow into calm, to let the heart slow, and to remember that your body was always designed to carry peace. This is why seekers across ages revered this hidden place. They saw in it not just biology, but mystery, not just flesh, but spirit. And while the modern world may use different words, the essence remains the same. There is a doorway in your body where silence speaks, and you have just found it. Now that we know where this point lies, and why so, many traditions have honored it, the question becomes deeper. What truly happens inside the body when you touch it? What is the science of silence? Let us look within, to the nervous system itself, and see why this gentle technique works, even if you don't believe it will. We have touched the doorway and glimpsed its mystery. But let us now ask, what is really happening inside your body? When you rest your fingers on this point of the neck, science has a name for the thread of silence you awaken here. It's called the vagus nerve, a slender wandering cord that stretches from the base of your brain, down through your throat, into your chest, and finally into your abdomen. It is the longest cranial nerve in the body, weaving like a hidden river through nearly every organ that matters for life. Where mystics once spoke of a silver thread that connected spirit to body, science describes the vagus as a highway of communication between your inner world and your outer experience. This nerve is not ordinary. It is the switch between two states of being, fight or flight, and rest and digest. When the world feels unsafe, your sympathetic nervous system ignites. The heart races, the breath shortens, your body prepares for battle. But when safety returns, another force rises. The parasympathetic nervous system. It is here, in this state, that healing begins. Muscles soften, digestion flows, heartbeat steadies, the mind unclenches. Silence is not just a mood, it is a biological reality, and the vagus nerve is its messenger. Now imagine this. By gently touching the side of your neck, near where your collarbone begins, you are reaching the surface point where this messenger runs closest to your skin. Your fingertips send a signal of safety, like a whisper to your nervous system. You are safe now. You may rest. The brain listens. The body responds. Within moments, the storm inside begins to quiet. Modern research has tried to harness this same mechanism. Doctors today experiment with vagus nerve stimulation, even using small devices implanted in the chest to reduce depression, epilepsy, and anxiety. But here lies the wonder. You carry your own natural stimulator in your breath and touch. You do not always need wires or machines. The human body was already designed with its own switch for peace. Think of how your body feels during a deep sigh, after crying, or when you hum softly to yourself. These sounds, vibrations, and breaths stimulate the vagus nerve. That is why chanting mantras, humming prayers, or singing sacred songs have always been part of spiritual traditions. Science explains it as vibration calming the nervous system. Mystics describe it as the soul returning to harmony. Two languages, one truth, and the evidence grows. Studies show that people with stronger vagal tone, meaning the nerve responds, will tend to feel calmer, recover from stress faster, and even experience more compassion toward others. In ancient words, this would be called opening of the heart. In scientific terms, it is a higher resilience of the parasympathetic system. What both agree on is this: touching, breathing, and gently awakening this nerve creates real change. But the vagus nerve does more than calm your heart or deepen your breath. Some researchers describe it as carrying the body's cellular memory of safety. When you activate it, your entire body remembers what it is like to feel secure, held, and balanced. And this memory is powerful. It is why a single breath, when guided by awareness, can shift the whole emotional landscape inside you. Your body has always known this. Think of when you were afraid, and your hand unconsciously rose to your throat or chest. Think of the way we place a hand on our heart when we are moved, or clutch our neck when startled. Without realizing it, we are constantly awakening this ancient mechanism of calm. Pause here for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you felt that sudden release, the softening of the body after a deep breath? Have you noticed how silence seems to flood in afterward, as if the mind itself had been listening? If yes, share that moment in the comments. Because what you felt is not just emotion, it is your vagus nerve singing. So what does all this mean for you? It means that silence is not a mystery hidden outside, but a signal coded into your very biology. By touching this point, breathing into it, and allowing awareness to flow, you are awakening what doctors call parasympathetic response, and what seekers call the return to stillness. The doorway is real. The science is clear. The only question that remains is this: how do you, with your own hands and breath, activate this silent power? Let us now move into the practice itself, step by step, so that you can feel this shift with your own body. You've walked with me through the mystery and the science of the vagus nerve, but knowledge without experience is only half the truth. Now it is time for you to feel this shift in your own body, gently, directly, with your own breath and touch. Before we begin, make sure you are in a place where you can sit quietly for a few minutes. Find a chair or cushion where your back can be upright but soft. Let your shoulders drop down, let your jaw unclench, and close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Imagine the noise of the day slowly dimming around you, as if you were stepping into a circle of golden light. This is your space. This is your moment. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale gently through your mouth, letting your whole body soften with the breath. 2 more times like this. Inhale, pause, exhale. Each breath drawing you deeper into presence. Can you already feel the shift, the way silence begins to rise when breath becomes slower? Now, let's find the point of power. Gently raise your right hand and place 2 fingers on the side of your neck, just below the ear, where it meets the top of your collarbone. Don't press hard. This is not forceful. Imagine your fingers as feathers resting on a sacred string. Underneath this spot runs the vagus nerve, the river of calm that carries messages of peace from brain to body. Touch it as if you were whispering to yourself, "You are safe, you may rest." Here begins the first cycle. Keep your fingers resting lightly on that point. Inhale deeply through your nose. Feel the air expand your chest, your ribs, even down, into your belly. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, a little longer than the inhale. As you breathe out, picture a ripple of calm, moving from your fingertips, down into your heart, then radiating outward like circles on water. Notice if your heartbeat softens, if warmth spreads, or if silence begins to hum inside you. Now for the second cycle, this time with intention. Keep your touch steady. As you breathe in, silently say to yourself, "I welcome peace." As you breathe out, whisper within, "I release what I no longer need." Feel the out-breath carrying away tension, old fear, restless thought. Feel the in-breath returning with calm, as if your lungs were drawing in light itself. Imagine this light flowing down from your fingers into the vagus nerve, and from there into your chest and stomach, bathing every organ with ease. You are not just breathing, you are reteaching your body how to feel safe. For the third cycle, let's add sound, the oldest medicine. On the exhale, hum softly, or let an om rise from your chest in a low, gentle tone. Don't force it, let the sound ride on your breath. Feel the vibration under your fingers, moving into your throat, down your chest. Science calls this vagal stimulation. Mystics call it chanting the soul awake. Either way, your voice is now medicine. Each vibration tells your nervous system, "Be still, you are whole." Try it 3 times. Inhale deeply, hum on the exhale, and notice how the body answers. Now pause, let your hands rest on your lap, close your eyes and listen inside. What do you notice? Maybe your breath is slower, maybe your chest feels warm, maybe your mind feels quieter. Some of you may even feel tears rising, because sometimes silence comes as release. Others may feel tingling, or a wave of softness washing through the body. Whatever you feel is right. Whatever you feel is your body speaking back. There are many ways to carry this practice with you. You can try it lying down before sleep when your mind refuses to settle. You can combine it with both hands, one on the chest, the other on the neck, so that the heart and nerves speak together. And when life overwhelms you in the middle of the day, you don't need to wait for the perfect setting. Even one slow breath, one gentle touch to this spot can be enough to remind your system, "I am safe. I can return to silence." Remember, there is no perfect way to do this. Your body is the teacher and it will guide you. Some days the shift will feel immediate. Other days it will be more subtle. But every touch, every breath is a message of healing written directly into your nervous system. Now let me ask you something. When you tried this just now, what did you feel? Was it warmth, tingling, peace, or even a sudden release of emotion? Share your experience in the comments, because your story might be the spark that encourages someone else to begin. And as you sit with this feeling, keep listening. For what follows next is not just about breath or touch, it is about the deeper change within, the emotional release, the clarity, the silence that begins to speak in ways words cannot. Now that you've touched this point on your neck and felt the breath, slow down. Let us step deeper, not into the technique, but into what it awakens inside you. This is the part most people never talk about. The quiet after the practice is not just silence. It is your body's language, finally being heard. The very first thing many people notice is how quickly the body softens. The chest feels lighter. The shoulders drop on their own, and the mind, which was once spinning like a wheel, begins to slow. It's subtle, but powerful. Imagine you've been walking in a noisy marketplace all day, and suddenly someone opens the door to a hidden garden. The noise doesn't fade outside, but inside there is peace. That's what this silence feels like. It doesn't come from the world. It rises from within you. For some, the shift goes deeper, beyond calmness. You may feel tears welling up. You may find yourself laughing softly without reason. You may even feel a heavy sigh leaving your chest, as if your body just let go of something it had been holding for years. This is not random. This is emotional release. Stored emotions, fear, grief, tension that live inside your nervous system suddenly find a doorway to leave. It's as if your body has been holding its breath for years, and in this moment it finally exhales. Others feel something different, a sudden wave of clarity. Thoughts slow down, and the fog in the mind begins to lift. Things that felt confusing suddenly appear simple. You may even hear your own inner voice more clearly, a whisper that says, "This is me. This is what I've been needing." Mystics called this the voice of the soul. Scientists may call it nervous system regulation. But whatever the name, the experience is the same. You feel closer to yourself than you did a moment before. When silence speaks through the vagus nerve, it doesn't always use words. It speaks in sensations, in warmth, in release. It speaks in the way your breath feels safe again. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to analyze it. You just feel it. This is why some ancient yogis believed these pressure points were not simply parts of the body, but doorways, gateways to the inner self. To them, the silence you feel now was prana, the life force. To Christian mystics, it was the still, small voice of spirit. Different names, same truth. Silence is not empty. It is full of meaning, and in this silence, something else happens. Balance. Your nervous system begins to shift out of fight or flight, out of the restless loop of anxiety, and into the parasympathetic state, the state of rest and restore. This balance is not only physical, it is deeply emotional. It feels like safety. It feels like finally sitting in your own body without resistance. Poets have said that music is what happens when silence learns to sing. But here, it feels like your body itself remembers its own forgotten song. The longer you sit with this silence, the more you realize it is a teacher. Not the kind that speaks loudly, but the kind that teaches through presence. When you rest your fingers on this sacred point and breathe, you are reminded that peace was never lost. It was only hidden beneath noise. This silence teaches patience. It teaches surrender. It teaches you that healing is not always about doing more, but about listening more deeply. I want to pause here and ask you something. When you tried this practice earlier, what surfaced for you? Did you feel tears, peace, tingling, or maybe even a sudden memory? Share it in the comments. Your reflection might become the mirror someone else needs for their own healing journey. This silence, this shift, is not fragile. You can return to it whenever you choose. But the beauty is, the more you return, the stronger it grows. Just as a path in the forest becomes clearer with each step, this inner stillness becomes more familiar every time you touch it. And yet, what you've felt today is only the beginning. A single moment of release can show you what's possible, but the real transformation unfolds when this practice is woven into daily life. Because silence is not meant to be a visitor, It is meant to become your companion. So let us take this shift, this release, this clarity, and carry it forward. Let us talk about how you can invite this silence into your mornings, your nights, your ordinary days, until it becomes not just a practice, but a way of living. A single touch can open the door. But what if you walked through that door every day? What if silence was no longer an accident, but a companion? The beauty of this practice is its simplicity. You don't need hours of meditation. You don't need a silent mountain cave. You need only a few quiet moments with yourself. Here's how you can bring it into your daily rhythm. In the morning, before the world rushes in, place your fingers gently on that point of your neck. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply 3 times, slowly, as if you're telling your body, "We begin today in calm." This simple act sets the tone for your entire day, reminding your nervous system that it doesn't have to live in fight or flight. At night, before sleep, repeat the practice. Touch the point, breathe slowly, and let the day dissolve. Feel the nervous system soften, the mind let go of its grip. Many people find their sleep becomes deeper, more restorative, because the body is no longer carrying the noise of the day into the night. And in between, whenever you feel stress rising, whenever thoughts begin to spiral, whenever you feel pulled out of yourself, pause. Just one hand, one breath, one moment of touch. Silence will return, like an old friend stepping back into the room. Over time, something begins to shift. You may notice fewer emotional spikes. Anger softens faster. Sadness feels lighter. Anxiety loosens its grip. You may feel more grounded in your conversations, more steady in your choices. Even your body may feel different. Shoulders less tense, chest more open, stomach more relaxed. This is not magic. It is memory. Your nervous system is remembering balance. And on a spiritual level, this practice plants a seed. Each time you return to this point, you are watering that seed of silence. One day you may look back and realize that silence has grown roots in you, that calm has become your natural state, and that the voice of clarity within you is stronger than the noise around you. I want to ask you, if you practice this daily, what shift do you think you'd notice first? Better sleep, calmer emotions, or sharper clarity? Share with me in the comments. Your answer may inspire someone else to begin. And when silence becomes a part of your daily life, the journey doesn't. And it expands, because there are other points, other hidden gateways in the body, waiting to be remembered. This one point on your neck, so small, so ordinary, has opened something extraordinary. With a single touch, you've reminded your body how to rest, how to listen, how to return to balance. But remember, a silence is not the end. It is the doorway. And there are many more doors waiting for you. Pause for a moment now. Feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. Notice how even this simple act of breathing feels a little different, a little deeper. That's the echo of silence. That's your nervous system remembering its natural song. Think back to what you experienced in this journey, from discovering the hidden point, to feeling its science and energy, to practicing it with your own hands. It wasn't just information, it was an invitation. You were not simply watching a video, you were entering a practice. And here's the truth. Your body is more than flesh and bone. It is a temple, a vessel, a living instrument. When you touch it with awareness, you are not performing a technique. You are praying. Each touch, each breath is a reminder that your spirit is still listening, still awake. If this silence touched something deep within you, let that be your sign. Whisper your yes by subscribing. Offer your energy back with a like. Share this video with someone you love, someone who may be carrying a heavy weight of noise inside. This may be the moment they've been waiting for. But I also want to hear from you. Did you feel something shift? Did the silence come easily, or did it resist at first? Tell me below in the comments, whether it was simple, surprising, or even uncomfortable. Your reflection matters, even if You dislike this practice? Share it. Your voice belongs here. This is the spine gospel, where body and spirit meet in whispers the world often forgets. Where silence is not absence, but presence. And if one point on the neck can do this, imagine what happens when you touch other hidden gateways. Your hands, your chest, even the quiet centers beneath your feet. These points are waiting like secret keys to unlock deeper doors of awareness. That is where we are going next. Until then, carry this silence with you. Touch this point whenever the world grows too loud, and listen. Silence will always speak back. May it walk beside you, steady and gentle, until we meet again in the next journey.